with an Instagram live. I haven't done one in quite some time. I actually wanted to show you guys this and explain this. And then I realized, hold on, this is not gonna be possible for you to read because it's mirrored. And I didn't figure out if there's a way to actually still show it. So you're gonna get a picture later that I'm gonna share as a post here on YouTube. So what I'm gonna talk about is gonna explain all of this. And what is all of this? I want to talk about the importance of the subconscious mind, but not just talk about the subconscious mind, but understand how working with your subconscious mind is what you need to do if you want to create your dream life and attract all the things that you want in your life. Now, the thing that I oftentimes in the past didn't understand is I wanted all the things, which probably if you're here, you also have dreams and goals and you want to make a lot of money and you want to have a lot of success in your business, whatever it is that you desire. And it was the same for me on a conscious level. I truly desired all these things that I wanted until I realized that I wasn't getting all the things. I was working hard. I was showing up. I was doing all the things that people tell you to do based on, do this and you're going to achieve this result. And I was doing all this, but I wasn't achieving this result. And so I found myself really stuck because my energy was so focused on the outside world. I was so focused on what I wanted, what wasn't working, and I was blaming myself a lot for the results that I wanted, but I wasn't getting, okay? Hi, lovely. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. Mauritius, wow, that's amazing. Must be beautiful there. So I was so focused on all the things that I wanted, but I found myself really stuck, especially in my business as well. I was doing all the things, right? I was following the strategy. I was hiring a business coach here and a business coach there. And I thought I knew exactly what I needed to do to create the success that I wanted in my business, but it wasn't there. And I'm going to share the story with you that really helped me understand and click what was actually going on. At that time, I had a friend, and she also is a coach. She has like a school of healing, and she told me about this incredible mindset coach that she was working with, because the moment she started working with this person, her business exploded. She went from making 10,000 a month to 100,000 a month. She moved to this dream villa, all the things, very quickly. I was like, oh my God, what is she doing differently that I don't understand? I don't understand why she has all this success. And so she told me how incredible this coach is and that I should sign up with her because it's going to also really change my life and it's going to help me get the success that I desire in my life. So I signed up with that coach, and needless to say, I did not get the results that she got. I actually did not get any results when I started working with that coach. And so I was like, how is it possible that my friend works with the same coach that I do, and she's getting all these incredible results? She's making 10 times more money. She just moved to her dream villa. And I'm doing all the things that she's doing. I'm working with this coach, and I'm not getting the results that I want to get. And I had to ask myself, well, I don't think it's not about what I do anymore, because I was doing all the things. There was something else I wasn't seeing. And right in the beginning when I started this, I wanted to show you this, guys, but it's mirrored, so you won't be able to see. But I want to talk about the concept of what I had to understand is that what I was creating on the outer world, the things that I wanted, the things that I didn't want, was the exact mirror of what was going on within me. And so instead of blaming myself for the lack of success or the lack of money or the things that I wasn't achieving, if I knew that my outer world is a mirror to my internal world and my internal world is a mirror to my outer world, I had to ask myself, so what do my current results say about me? Instead, not from a place of blame, not from a place of, I can't believe you're not getting all these results, but more from a place of curiosity. So if I'm going to give you this example of money, If I struggle to make money in my life right now, instead of working harder and outworking myself and trying to do more to make more money, I had to ask myself, what are the beliefs I grew up with around money? I had to ask myself, what are the things I've heard from my parents? Now, in case you didn't know, you get programmed very early on as a child. From the ages 0 to 6, a lot of the programs are already programmed within you. So what I mean with programs is like the things that you see in your environment around your caregivers, in school, your family, you absorb these things like a sponge because your brain is in a different brain state. So you absorb these things like a sponge. You don't understand them on a logical level, but it doesn't matter because when you, for example, you've grown up, you've seen your dad work really, really hard and never being at home because he was, the person that brought money back home. What you're gonna learn early on is that money means abandonment of family. Even though logically it does not make a lot of sense because you didn't understand it as a child, that program still gets imprinted onto you. And so when I was really struggling with making money or keeping money, I had to look at, well, what are the things that I grew up believing? What are the things that I thought were true around money? And so I went back in my childhood and I started to have, flashbacks of the conversations that I saw with my parents. And a lot of the things that I heard my family say is there was always fighting around money. Always. There was always a lot of fighting around money. We don't come from a lot of money, so there was always a lack of money. There was always like my family would fight with each other about money. And all the things that I grew up with, I was like, oh, so I'm trying to outwork this by doing more, but instead I have to look at my inner world. Because if I want my outer world to change, if I want more money, success, fame, love, I got to look at what's going on within me. So I ask myself, well, what do I believe about this to be true? What do I believe about money to be true? What do I believe about success to be true? And that allowed me to understand that most of the results that you get in your life today is because of your unconscious mind. And your unconscious mind is 95% of the things that you have or don't have in your life. And so many of us, we're trying to operate from the conscious mind. We're trying to only look at what is it that I can change. Like even when we look at New Year's Eve, a lot of the times we have all these New Year's resolutions, right? I mean, New Year's Eve is now 5 months ago, which is fine. But like when we look at New Year's Eve, a lot of people have New Year's resolutions, right? And they have the New Year's resolution of, I want to quit smoking. I want to work out more. I want to move to a new country, whatever it is. But the focus is so much on the doing rather than on changing the beliefs that we have about the thing. Because let's take the example of working out. If you've never worked out in your life, you've never been consistent, and on January 1st, you tell yourself, I'm going to work out 5 times a week now, I can guarantee you right now, if you don't look at your inner world, at the reason why you haven't been working out, or the things that you believe about yourself, you're not going to work out. Because the action is not what's going to change the results. It's only going to change the results when your action is connected to the feelings and the thoughts of the person who works out. Right? So what are the thoughts and feelings of a person that works out? So for example, if you always grew up believing that working out is hard, you hate going to the gym, you actually, you hate sweating. If you grew up with no one in your family ever working out, these are the thoughts that you have. These are not the thoughts of someone who works out. So what are the feelings? The feelings are demotivation, not actually wanting to work out, not feeling like it. And then the action is not working out. Instead, you got to ask yourself, well, what are the thoughts and feelings of a person that already works out? So the thoughts of a person that works out could be something like, Well, my health is the most important thing in my life, and I prioritize my body and my health because it makes me feel better, right? The thoughts could be like, despite me maybe not feeling it, I know that if I just go to workout for like 15 minutes a day, it's gonna already make a big difference to the way that I feel, the way that I show up. Then the feelings are very different. The feelings are motivation, you're excited, you have a lot more energy. And then the action is gonna be working out. So it's that simple, but oftentimes we're trying to focus way too much on the conscious mind of wanting all these things instead of actually looking at what's going on the unconscious level. And so going back to the example of that I shared with my friend, where, she was getting all the results that she wanted in her business and I wasn't, even though we were working with the same coach, I had to look at what was going on in my unconscious mind, which was 95%. Because the truth is, the reason why she was getting all these results is because she's done this work before. What is the unconscious mind? What is the inner world? It's your traumas, it's your experiences, it's your wounds, it's your beliefs, it's your childhood. And so the reason why my friend was getting all these results, these crazy results in her business and her life, was because she has looked at her inner world before, which I haven't. I wasn't even aware that all these things existed. I was aware in like a little way, but she's been doing this work for 10 plus years. So of course, when she started working with this coach, it was like her last push to get all the success that she desired. Whereas for me, what I actually needed was to not do the mindset work and do the inner work instead, and look at what is happening in my life. Like, why am I creating these results that I don't want? And this is where you become extremely powerful, because when you're able to take the power back and take full responsibility for your results in your life, no one is going to be able to stop you from creating all the results that you want in your life. You will be able to control your life, but not from like this heavy masculine control, but more from like, I know that if I create my reality, it is in my responsibility to take the time to look at myself and do the work on myself over and over and over again. That also doesn't mean that you are broken. That just means that we're human beings and that we absorb experiences, that early on we learn things about the world and about ourselves. We are like sponges, especially early on in life. And so it's just about recognizing that sometimes we have like a software program that has been running in our mind for way too long, and it is in your responsibility right now to change that program. It is in your hands right now to change that program that has been running in your mind. And that is the power of taking your power back and recognizing you get to create the life, the business, the love life that you desire. But it starts with looking at what's going on within you. Again, your outer world is a mirror to your inner world. So instead of being discouraged by the things that are not working in your outer world, ask yourself, what are my beliefs about this thing? What am I thinking, believing about why I'm not having the success? Or what am I believing about money? What am I believing about my business? What am I believing about love and relationships and all of those things? This is what will allow you to go deeper and ask yourself, this is what we got to work on. Now, one thing that I do want to mention is a subconscious fear that a lot of us people have. And that fear is the fear of being seen. The fear of being seen, I personally think, and I've been working in this for a long time, I personally think the fear of being seen is the number one reason why people are struggling to make the money that they want or have the success that they want in their business and in their life. The fear of being seen is a fear that a lot of us have for two reasons. The first reason is we grew up believing that if we conform, if we stay quiet, if we people please, if we don't trigger people, if we're not different, then we're going to be loved and get affection and we're going to fit into society, right? So we early on learn that when we are not different, we don't trigger people, we people please, that is the only right way to go through life. And so when we then grow up, a lot of us are chronic people pleasers. A lot of us, we're scared to trigger people. A lot of us, we're scared to go out there and share who we truly are because we have learned that it's wrong. So this is where the fear of being seen comes in. And the second reason why a lot of people have the fear of being seen is because of our brains. Our brains are still formed for survival. So think about it this way. Many years ago, when we still used to live in caves and like in tribes, we were part of groups, and that was for survival reasons. So when we were part of a group, that meant that we were able to survive, that we were able to, get through life. Now, standing out of that group, being different, having a different opinion, whatever it is, could mean that we would be left by the group, and that could mean that we would not survive in the wild. So we needed to conform and be part of a group. It was for survival reasons. And so today, when we stand out, when we are different, what happens is that our survival brain kicks in and makes us believe that it's wrong. And so standing out, if that's you going on YouTube, you starting a TikTok account, you starting your business, your business that maybe no one in your family has ever done, you being different from your family, your survival brain is going to kick in and it's going to tell you this is wrong, this is dangerous. And so the fear of being seen is a fear that a lot of us have, and I see it with people that I work with, where they want to put themselves out there, they want to sell their programs, and they procrastinate. They're over planning. They're so scared of what people might think. They're scared that they're going to annoy people or that people are going to judge them. All of this is the fear of being seen. And when we don't learn how to heal it, we will really stop ourselves from creating the success that we want in our businesses and in our lives. And so this is something I'm really passionate about. That's why I decided to create a free masterclass, which is called Heal the Fear of Being Seen. The masterclass is next week. I highly recommend joining this masterclass if you feel like all of what I just spoke to you. You will find the link in my bio. I'm going to post it after I upload this video. If you can't find it, just message me, but you should be able to find it. I really would love to see you there. It's going to be a wonderful masterclass where we will also be doing practices. So it's not just going to be a masterclass where I, give you a bunch of information, but we will actually do practices on creating that safety within your body, looking at your inner world, looking at what's going on, the beliefs that you have formed, so we can change them and reprogram them in real life. Okay, so I would love to see you there. Thank you so much for being here on the live with me. Sending you so much love, and see you.